What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to come on here and do a little bit of relationship talk with you guys. You guys seem to like that. I don't do that all the time, but sometimes I kind of get a little idea in my head. I'm like, you know what, let me talk about that. So I just wanted to talk about being each other's support system, and just being there for each other. A lot of times, a lot of people, all of us, we're all different. We all like different things. We all have different hobbies. We all have different wants and different desires and things like that. I personally, before I even got together with Tyrone, I was not, I was really, I'm a laid back person, but I was extremely laid back. I was not one of those people who, was into anime, comics. I was into wrestling. I used to watch wrestling a lot, like Monday Night Raw, all those things. I used to really watch wrestling, so that's not new for me. But when I met Tyrone, I found out he was a really big wrestling fan, and that's how he actually kind of started his YouTube. So it was one of those things where I just didn't care for it. The closest thing I came to comics was collecting little comics from the Bazooka Gums. And you guys are gonna laugh, but I used to keep a little those I don't know if they're old school, because I think they still sell them now, but they're these little binders that have these transparent sheets in them where you can put the pictures in them. They used to have ones where you just kind of open up the plastic part and it's already kind of adhesive paper on there. Anyway, I used to keep a little binder full of these little comics I used to collect from the Bazooka Gum. I didn't do anything with them. I just collected them. That's the closest thing I came to comics. I don't know if my male cousins used to collect them or not, but they were really big on He-Man, G.I. Joe, stuff like that, But anyway, it was one of those things where I wouldn't say that I didn't care for it, but it was something that if it wasn't around me, I wasn't looking for it. But if it, I think that if it was something that was presented to me, or something that was persistently around me, I probably would have tapped into it a little bit. But anyway, so when I met Tyrone, I think I told him this before, but if I didn't, he'll know now. I thought he was such an attractive man, and mind you, I had my eye on him for a while, okay? I had my eye on him for a while. Not gonna say how long, but for a while. And it was one of those things where I never crossed that line, I kind of felt like he was a little out of my league, a little bit. And later on I found out okay, I wasn't the only nervous one. So anyway, when I met him, I felt, okay, you know what, this man is a man. He knows what he wants. He's very confident. He's extremely attractive to me. He's very attractive. And the more I got to know him, the more I was just yo, he's a little bit of a nerd. He's into superheroes and comics and all the things that come behind that, and I was just man, okay. So along the way, he introduced me to a lot of things. Now, my younger sister and my niece, actually, both are into anime. They like reading anime, they like watching anime. My sister, when we were a lot younger, she was a huge Batman fan. It was weird. So it wasn't it was never around me. And for my sister, that whole Batman, it was a phase. She came out of that phase. Now she's into The Nightmare Before Christmas, and she's in her 30s. Anyway, that's another story. So anyway, so he kind of introduced me to all these things that I didn't really care to look for before. And at first I was just like, I don't know if I really want to watch this, or I don't really know if I want to get into this, but he likes it and he's really into it. And this is part of what he does on YouTube, is to react to these things. Let me give it a shot. Let me open myself up to something new. And it's not, I don't believe it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, you only watch this because he does, or you only, do this because he does. No, because when you are in a relationship and you're with someone, you both get introduced to different things that you didn't experience before. Things that you didn't like before, you may like now, because the person that you are with opened you up to a different way of looking at it. And that's how I feel with, Tyrone introducing me to all these things. And I've watched Death Note. I have yet to get into Dragon Ball Z, and I have friends who are into Dragon Ball Z. Jalixa is really big on Dragon Ball Z. She knows a lot about that, and her husband, and it's one of those things where just like, okay, let me, because they've had conversations before, like literally around me, and I'm just sitting there like crickets, because I don't know anything about it. But I always want to open myself up to new things. Same thing with like food. Like, I'm the type of person where I'll try something at least once, and if I don't like it, I won't eat it again, but I'm a little iffy when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm always willing to try something once, because you just never know if you're gonna like it. So same thing with, the comics and superheroes, and things that I always saw my male friends and my male cousins into, and I'm just like, why are they into this stuff? So now that I'm older and I can kind of do things at my own pace and watch things at my own pace and have a better understanding of it and a better mindset, I have a grown person's mind now. So, when he introduced me to it, I actually began to really like it, because I was in the state of mind to sit there and allow myself to understand these things. So, one thing that we both had in common was wrestling. So that was pretty big. And of course, comedy. And now he's introduced me to anime and superheroes. And he loves superheroes so much that he wants to continue to pursue his acting career. He wants to be in action, maybe even superhero movies. And so when it comes to supporting your partner and supporting them, it doesn't mean that you have to like what they like, because you don't. You don't have to like what they like. You don't have to do what they do. But supporting them in things also means that you have to put yourself in a position to somewhat try to understand what it is that they like. So for me, I know he's really big on superheroes. He loves anime. So it's one of those things where I felt like I had to open myself up to, just to understand why he likes it so much, just to kind of, have something else for us to share. You know what I mean? And then if he does become a superhero in a movie, that's just even better for me, because now I understand the love that he has for superheroes, and I can appreciate the roles that he plays as an actor, in the future. So, I support him 100%. And then, me supporting what he does as a YouTuber before I became a YouTuber was, important too, because, at first I didn't, obviously I didn't understand anything about this, but he reacted to so many of these things. And I'm like, okay, I need to understand these things in order for me to appreciate and understand why he does what he does, and why he does this on YouTube, and why he's so passionate about it. And that's something that we all learn in relationships, right? Like, we understand that, okay, I like you, you like me. You're attractive, I'm attractive. You like food, I like food. We like to do these things, but then there's other things that come with us that, we don't have to alter who we are. We don't have to do it just because they do, because that would, to me, that's a false, that's not really being, real. Like, I'm big on you being who you are and I'm being who I am, but there's also a point where you have to do something to try to understand who the person is, why they are the way that they are, why they like certain things, which is why I'm big on opening myself up to new things. So now we can sit down and watch an anime movie, and I can, engage with him and have these conversations, and I can understand certain stories. When it comes to superheroes, like, he does a great job at helping me understand how things connect. And that's why now I am a fan of superhero movies. I'm a fan of DC and Marvel. I'm not one of those people who are going to get into the technicalities of, the DC world and the Marvel world, and all these multiverses or whatever it is. I'm not that girl. I'm not that type of a fan. I am a fan of what I have experienced so far. I'm a fan of understanding how things connect. And it's all because of who I'm with. And he's helped me along the way. And because of that, because I have opened myself up to something new, now I'm enjoying something that I didn't have an experience with before. Now I enjoy another genre of movies. Now I'm enjoying another genre of, entertainment, anime, So it's really, really important to support your partner, to be their support system. And not only just that, I mean, supporting them in anything that, they love and they enjoy. I'm not an actress, although I have played a starring role in a play, and people have told me, you're an actress because this is what you've done. You're an actress because this came natural to you. And not to toot my own horn, but I did a really good job, and I was very proud of myself. And because of the work that we put in, we had 2 sold out shows, and it's something that is being considered as far as taking it on the road at some point, maybe. But I enjoyed playing a character in a play on stage, and I know that's not the same thing as being an actor and being in front of a camera, and doing things like that. So that's another little thing that we have in common, but I'm not an actress like he's an actor. I have not been in movies. I have not done voiceovers. I didn't do those type of things. But just because I haven't experienced it doesn't mean that I can't be his support system. It doesn't mean that I can't support his dream and his goals and what he does for a living, and that means for me to give him pep talks, for me to watch him be an actor and watch him do what he does, and I've been able to, gratefully sit back and watch him do this. I've traveled, to movie sets with him and have watched him really bring characters to life. And that is really big as far as being a support system to your partner. Not only was I there, but I traveled to where you were just to support you. And that's not to say that's what you have to do, but I feel like it's really, really big to find ways to support your partner. Even if you may not understand, why they're doing it or what they're doing, or you may not even, feel like you really agree with, like, maybe I could have been some type of person where I'm like, I don't like acting, I don't like that, I don't care for it, but that still doesn't mean that I can't support you. I love writing. Tyrone doesn't like writing, and he definitely doesn't like reading letters and things like that, but once in a while when I do write something, if I write him a letter or something like that, and it's, loving and caring, he appreciates that. He may not like writing, but, he likes the fact, he appreciates it and he supports it, and he knows that I journal. He doesn't journal, but that doesn't mean that he can't support me in my journaling. Meaning, if I'm having a bad day, he can sit there and say to me, well, you know what? Why don't you do what you love and journal? Write down how you feel. That's another way of supporting your partner. It's so many different ways, but it's so important for your partner to know that they are supported, that they have a strong support system in you, even if you may not understand completely what they are doing, or, you may not be part of the world that they are part of in terms of whether it's a career, whether it's a hobby, whether it's food. You can agree to disagree. You can be your own person and your own individual self and still love the person for who they are and support them in their dreams and their goals. So if you guys are in relationships at all, I just want to give you guys a little bit of encouragement and, just a little word of advice. You know what I mean? Just allow yourself to open up to at least learn about what your partner likes, so you can be a better support system for them. Because I'm a big believer in knowing why you are doing what you're doing. I am not the type of person to do something just to do it, or just because somebody is telling me to do it. I've always been the type of person I want to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. When I'm at a job, I want to know why I am doing a certain thing in a certain way, just so I can understand my job better. So my job as a partner, as a girlfriend, as a wife, fiance, or whatever the case may be, it is a part of what I am supposed to be here for, is to be your support system and to understand you better. I may not agree with everything, and I may have my own opinions about stuff, but it doesn't mean that I can't support you in what you love and what you like. All right, so that is a little bit of some relationship talk for you guys. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later.